can young people be not only the audience, but can be the contributor to the capacity building?
Exactly. Good morning. My name is Alejandro Kilpatrick. I'm the manager of the capacity building subdivision at the UNFCCC secretariat in Bonn.
Sabah al khair. Good morning. My name is Hatim Aznague. I'm working at the Union for the Mediterranean Intergovernmental Organization as Energy and Climate Action Project Analyst.
Hatim, I would like to ask you an important question. What do you think needs to happen today in key sectors to ensure the next generation has access to green jobs?
Buenos dias, Alejandro. Thank you so much for the question. Indeed, the young people today need some kind of more interest and more focus to give them the space to work in the region. I think the needs are mainly what can give them the position to trust themselves and to move forward to lead the climate action, to lead the adaptation, how they can adapt themselves to the hazards that we are facing in the region. Today, I think we are talking not only about health crisis, we are not talking about conflicts, but we go beyond that. So how our young people can have the ability to respond to those challenges. So this is what we call the needs, but the needs need to be the knowledge, need to be the financial tools, need to be also the platform where they can express themselves to have a meaningful participation of young people. I will turn it around to me, and I will ask you also an interesting question, which is how can capacity building empower the next generation moving from the needs to capacity building?
Thank you for the question. I think capacity building is always a very important element of any project. Most projects have a capacity building, capacity development component. But I think that we also need to look at capacity building where we're talking about young people or the next generation from the perspective that we can also learn a lot from young people. So young people are not only recipients of capacity building, but also providers of capacity building. For example, young people are usually very well versed on new technologies. So I think we can benefit from that. And also, capacity building it's not only about training. It's a process. It's a process where you create the tools to empower people to acquire knowledge, skills, but also to be able to transmit that knowledge and skills to others. For example, we are supporting the Youth for Capacity program together with the generous support of the government of Italy. And this is a program that's designed to help young people acquire those knowledge and skills, but more importantly, to become multipliers of those knowledge and skills, to take it back to their communities, so that can they become also builders of capacity of other young people and also of adults.
That's exactly what I was really interested about. Can young people be not only the audience, but can be the contributor to the capacity building?
Exactly. And I think also that is combined with not only building those capacities, but retaining those capacities. So, and I think this is a very important question, and I know you're very passionate about it. So what is the value of intergenerational innovation and solidarity?
This is very important when we are talking about solidarity in the moment that we really need to show to the young people around all the world, not only in Morocco, not only in our region, not only in Amazonia, that we need a trust in the multilateral system, trust in how we can move forward. So this intergenerational dialogue and how the transform of knowledge can be happen from a generation to another is very important. I think this cannot happen without having this connection where we are connected both to the generation before us and to the next generation also. I move now to my second question to you, Alejandro. What kind of financial tools and can support biodiversity and ecosystem regenerations?
I think something that's very important is having a more holistic approach, because when you talk about ecosystem restoration, you're looking at benefits for biodiversity, but also benefits for climate, and also benefits for sustainable land management. So this is where I'm a strong believer in how to materialize, for example, the synergies between the main three Rio conventions. So I think using these financial tools more effectively when you're talking about the multilateral funds, capitalizing on those synergies, and it has been shown by several studies that doing things in a synergistic it's more cost effective. So that's one aspect. Also, I think when you talk about financial tools or instruments, you also need to take into account the local context.
Which is related to communities and also to financial institutions and money, absolutely, which is an interest for young people. I do just connect that from Click to the COP30, which is in Amazonia, there is a huge interest about finance. There is any wording of hope you can give to the young people about that?
Yeah, no, thanks. I think it's very easy to get discouraged when you talk about accessing finance, because we have to be honest that sometimes the processes are quite complicated and cumbersome to accessing funds. But I think by fostering or nurturing the entrepreneurship spirit of young people, it's very important to help to walk with young people, not to teach them or just walk with them. So I think we need to tap into that. And I would just say to young people, don't despair. Continue doing what you're doing.
I think today we need to not only to follow, but to take the lead. Yes. I think this is the moment.
No, and I think that that's very important, but also how do you, in your own perspective, how do you help maybe get this sense that we're all in it together, right?
Yeah, this is also important question, how I do convince people. It's only by providing them with possibilities. I think we need to use all the possibilities that we have today in our region, what kind of support we can provide, what kind of technical support we can give young people, because young people today, I trust them that they have the necessary maturity, knowledge, but they need the space. And I think through what I'm doing, I can give them more access to platforms, more access to opportunities, but also I need to say it to myself, not only about me, it's about our communities, about collective efforts where we all together, we are on the same wording, which is here is to working together for our future.